Hey, welcome to Miss Cindy's Kitchen, where I'm not Miss Cindy. I am Goose. I'm usually the guy behind the camera. However, today, Logan is behind the camera.
Yep.
He's back to doing camera duties for the first time in I don't know how long, because he's been away taking care of school and all kinds of fun stuff. But happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. There's a reason why I am doing the cooking today, because we're giving Miss Cindy the day off. And she specifically requested that I do my famous meatloaf. The crazy thing is that I don't remember the exact recipe. I just remember throwing it together after a while, because that's basically what happened. We'd get the ground beef or ground turkey, and I'd get some ingredients together and I'd throw it in a pan, and voila, we'd have meatloaf. So I'm going to show you exactly how I did it as I refresh my memory, because usually, meatloaf is just like, it's ground beef, and we got about a little over a pound and a half of ground beef here. I like to use the 85-15 ground beef because it's lean with enough fat to keep the juices going and flowing and the taste in there. Usually there's one egg, and the egg is back here, so there it is. This usually requires one egg. Some require some milk, salt and pepper, onions, some celery, some breadcrumbs. And that's basically how it is. You just put it all together in one pot and then just throw it into the loaf pan, and here we go. So I'm going to take this nice big slab of ground beef, and I'm just going to simply plop it in the bowl here. And I'm going to add my wet ingredients first. So I'm going to add my milk, 1 cup of milk to 1 pound of beef. My egg. I'm going to now knock it on the counter rather than on the side here, because I don't want to get any shells in there. And all I have to do is just kind of hit it just gently enough, and then just press it with my thumbs, and it explodes all over the place.
As long as you don't get any shells in there.
Any shells in there, yeah. I know Miss Cindy usually says you want to put it in a glass container, but it's only 1 egg. I'm going to wash my hands real quick. And right now, I'm just going to kind of take my hands now that I've washed them, and I'm going to put the wet ingredients all together. And why do I do it like this? Because I'm going to be putting in the dry ingredients in just a minute. And I want to get all the stuff, kind of all the wet stuff absorbed first into the meat. And again, if you want to add a little more wet ingredients like, ketchup or sauce, or maybe you want to put some salsa in there, you can do that. Just remember that you don't want to have it too wet, because you want it to be able to cook. It's going to cook for an hour at 350. And you can see right now, it's still kind of wet, but it's nice and mixed all together. Nice consistency there. And you want to make sure that any jewelry you have on your fingers, you take off.
Yeah, you don't need to be discovering a wedding ring inside the meatloaf.
Well, not just that, but a lot of that stuff will get in the jewelry and in the rings and stuff. So I'm going to let it sit for a minute as I rinse off my fingers and my hands. What? All right. Dry off with a paper towel. And then from here, you're going to put in your dry ingredients. And they're normally it's the same kind of dry ingredients: salt and pepper, some breadcrumbs, onions, and then sometimes some celery. So I'm going to throw the celery in first.
How much celery?
That was about 3 stalks of celery chopped. You got some white onions here. This is about, I don't know, I like to put them about half a cup to a cup of onions. These are white onions we already had chopped. Sometimes it calls for green onions. Sometimes you may want to use, depending on, you may want to use some yellow onions, maybe the sweet onions, whatever flavor you're going for. And then they just said breadcrumbs. They said, so we had 2 kinds. We had the seasoned breadcrumbs, and we had the panko breadcrumbs. I've used plain oatmeal sometimes. Tonight we're going to use the panko. So I have 1 cup of panko, and just kind of put it in here, spread it around. A little bit of pepper. I like to use some seasoned salt. A little seasoned salt in there. And then usually from this point, it's like you can add whatever it is you want to add. So, my wife suggested some pico de gallo, but pico de gallo, the kind we have, already had onions in it. So I was like, I don't want to add any more onions. So I like to sometimes add tomatoes. That's a signal that my oven's ready. Because I like to sometimes add tomatoes. Sometimes a salsa. Sometimes, you know, I'll add, I don't know, whatever kind of like comes through my head. It's kind of like, you know, a Frankenstein kind of meal. It's like, well, you have the basics you want to put on there, but then after that, it's kind of like, hey, what else can we put in here? So tonight I'm just going to add in a little more garlic. And I've seen some, you know, a spoonful of garlic helps the meatloaf go around. And that's about the end of that jar. And that's about it. I know you guys are seeing this bottle of barbecue sauce behind me. Sometimes I put barbecue sauce in it. Sometimes I put ketchup in it. Mustard, relish. Again, whatever it is you want to feel. If you got the basics in there, you can add a little bit of stuff. Just don't put a lot of stuff because you don't want to overdo your meatloaf. But again, here we go with the hands. Ready? So now I'm going to got all the dry ingredients together. And it's just me mixing it all in one container. And you want to really get because you saw how wet it was. And the key is, for me, to get all that moisture out, is you really want to make sure you have enough of the breadcrumbs. If you don't have enough breadcrumbs, it's just going to be wet. And it's going to take a little longer to cook. Most meatloaf recipes say it cooks for an hour at 350. I've cooked it at 400 for about 45 minutes sometimes. Just depends. And as you can see, it's nice and mixed. All that wetness is gone. It's soaked in there. This is a nice consistency. And this is perfectly what I want to do. So I'm going to take my loaf pan and I'm just going to put it in there. Kind of mush it down. You want to get all the corners. Nothing fancy, just a nice good old meatloaf. Now, what's the barbecue sauce for? Put on top of the meatloaf, if I can get it open. This is what happens when you get ground meat all over your hands. And less is more. Now, I have put ketchup on top of it. I put cheese on top of it. Again, whatever it is you want to do, you take a nice little brush and you just spread it around. Now this is a good recipe for anything like if you've got some ground meat, ground turkey, maybe even some ground pork, anything, you know, that you need to use up. And what this, you know, you just put some ingredients together, voila, you've got meatloaf. And the reason you want to like put this on top, this is going to cook into the top of the meatloaf. Put this right here. Open her up. Get her in there. Hit your timer.
And what temperature and for how long?
That's 350 for an hour.
Okay.
350 for an hour. So right now, we're going to put you on pause. We're going to let this baby cook. And we're going to see if Maddie's going to put something together. But as of right now, we're getting this meatloaf cooked up for Miss Cindy for Mother's Day. We'll be right back. So the meatloaf is cooked at 350 for an hour. We're gonna check it with our handy dandy meat thermometer.
That thing is old.
Yeah, she is on the camera right now while Logan went to go take care of something. I'm gonna put it in the middle here, and we're gonna check to see if it hits the 160 mark.
Ooh, it's moving fast.
Maddie right now is working on some mashed potatoes. She decided to come out. Yeah, your meatloaf is ready.
Well, because I was working on it and the timer went off. Seems like
This is so exciting. We're watching the thermometer go up.
It's about 150 right now. It might take a little bit longer to get to 160.
Is it stopped?
Yeah.
It's stopped.
It's 150. So
So we're gonna
if we
leave
do
it in.
beef, if we do beef medium, or no, beef medium is 160 still. Beef
So
well is 170.
So we're gonna leave it in for about another 10 minutes
Yeah.
while we let it get to temperature. In the meantime, like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell for notifications so you always know when a new video is being uploaded. Share this out to your family, friends, and neighbors, and leave us a comment. Let us know what you think of this recipe, because we'd like to know. We're gonna put you back on pause for about another 10 minutes, and then we'll see if we get this thing up to temperature.
I gotta check it again. Ooh, look at that. My hand is a bit shaky because I was just mixing mashed potatoes.
And there it is. It's getting up to 160. It looks like it is done.
It is almost on the dot too.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna take that off. Bring that up here. We're gonna let it sit for a little bit before we do a taste test, because we got all kinds of, look at that. All right. So it took a little bit more than an hour at 350. Sometimes that just happens. We are dealing with, it was a little bit more than a pound, or more like a pound and a half, but it looks like it came out really good. We're gonna have a taste test in a minute when we get everything else finished. So you hold on right back, and we'll be right back with you. All right, so we let the meatloaf cool down for a little bit. Got some mashed potatoes to put with it that Maddie made, and I'm gonna cut into this, and I've got my hat back on. So, and Logan, who is back behind the camera after he was doing some homework, he's got finals this week, so.
Yep.
So I'm gonna see if I can scoop this out, get a nice big fat empties. Put a little bit of mashed potatoes on here. If I can get them on here. These are some thick mashed potatoes. I don't know how Maddie made them so thick, but cheese on Pete. In case if I get myself, quickly get myself a fork for Logan.
Thank you.
And we're gonna switch.
Yay.
And he's gonna come over here.
Yeah, so you're not looking directly at the
Light here.
Okay, here I got my mashed potatoes and meatloaf. That's what it's
Meatloaf.
called. I almost
It is.
blanked on the name of the food. You can never go wrong with meatloaf. It's always so good.
All right.
The celery, the ground beef, the barbecue sauce. It's delicious.
Nice. And in true Miss Cindy's Kitchen fashion, I have an open cabinet behind you, so
Yep.
can't go a whole episode without having an open cabinet somewhere.
No, sir.
So, we want to thank you for coming on this journey with us as we made Mother's Day dinner for Miss Cindy. And she's sitting back relaxing. I think she's getting her nails done and her hair done. She's come out in a nice new dress and everything. So, but thank you so much for watching our video. Again, give us a like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, share it out to your friends, family, and neighbors, and leave us a comment. We want to know what you think about this recipe and how it's going to fit into your dinners in the times to come.
Yep.
See you in the next episode.
See you in the next episode.
Thank you for watching Miss Cindy's Kitchen. To get more recipes like this one, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for notifications when new videos are uploaded. Share it out to your friends, family, neighbors, and leave us a comment to let us know how this recipe worked for you. And don't forget to hit that like button. Again, thank you for watching Miss Cindy's Kitchen.